What's up, you guys? Jeremy McGrath here. You are listening to MXoN Show.
Hey, this is Jessica Ma, and you're listening to the MXoN Show, the only podcast that we listen to down under.
Welcome to the MOTOXpod Show, starring Darkside. His co-host Scotty, sometimes TJ.
Well, it's starting to be more than sometimes, TJ. 2 weeks in a row, you're here. 2 weeks in a row, Scotty lets us down. But we're back this week. It's episode 245. Joshua Varize, Seth Hammaker are going to be our guests. We're brought to you tonight by Jerky's USA. For decades, Jerky's USA has been the leader in motoplastic and accessories with products that fit perfect, look great, and last. Jerky's has what you need. Whether it's full plastic kits, individual pieces, handguards, chain guides, and sliders, or anything else you need, visit Jerky'sUSA.com and support our title sponsor. Also on board, Racetech, which is the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. All Racetech products include award-winning go valves, and settings are 100% guaranteed and made in the USA. Use that promo code MOTOXPOD to save at racetech.com. Fly Racing is on board. Man, I used the hell out of some Lucid goggles this last weekend, doing some single track with TJ. I want to talk about that in a minute. I've never had a pair of goggles with so much sweat on the foam in my eyes. Never got any sweat in them. It's awesome. The Lucid goggle kicks butt. Speaking of that, this is the X-Brand Lucid Conversation. Also on board, Fly Racing. Fly Racing has been developing and innovating its gear line since 1998. Fly Racing is the only choice if you want the best. So visit your local dealership and ask for Fly Racing, distributed through WPS. Those X-Brand goggles are also distributed through WPS. Works Connection. You guys want some radiator braces, customized master cylinder covers, TJ? A pro launch start device. It will help me get my start against Steve Mathis at the vets. WorksConnection.com. Use promo code MOTOXPOD20 to save on those. Torque One Racing. R Jerky. MOTOXPOD21 to save at R Jerky. Eat rjerky.com. Bermlords Graphics and Jersey ID on board with us. They can do your motorcycle graphics, your shrouds, sticker, full-on graphics kits, as well as your jerseys. They can letter them, put all your sponsors on there, get them, hit them up, graphics at bermlords.com. Shock Socks, Williams Motorworks, Extreme Colors Helmet Painting. If you want a custom painted helmet, it's really, really hard to beat Kirk's prices. I believe it's still $395 for a full custom paint job. Less than $400, you can have one-of-a-kind paint job. Blood Lubricants on board. Power Band Racing, TruFusion Sports, and Grill Your Ass Off. I've got some Grill Your Ass Off sample kit right here. We're going to give this away tonight, or this week. Just email the show, motoxpodshow@gmail.com, and we'll pick a winner. Just tell me what you're going to cook with some of the seasoning. There's all kinds. There's 7 different flavors in here, but tell me what you're going to cook. And since, again, email motoxpodshow@gmail.com. I'll pick a winner, send that stuff out. Episode 245, TJ, we're back. You're here.
Well, yeah, I'm here to save the day because we have somebody who plays producer, I guess, part-time. Like, I stepped away. And
you can't talk.
I've been here 2 weeks in a row. I mean, you're only as good as your last race. You're only as good.
You were in town these 2 weeks because otherwise there'd be no video. It'd just be audio only, like old days. Because, Scotty's just letting us down.
Just like over and over again. And
he said, well, he called me today. He's like, but I want to hang out with my friends.
What?
He wanted to hang out with his friends.
Are they playing golf or something?
No, he said he has a buddy that's like moving away. Like it's like his last chance to see him for a few years or something.
You could have brought him into the show and made his stuff look cool.
I had plans to hang out with my friends.
I
was like, whatever, dude, you're fired.
It actually sounds like him, so yeah.
No, he didn't know we were doing a show. I guess I didn't let him know, and I did say last week that it was sort of tentative.
Yeah.
So he jumped on the side that we probably weren't having a show.
It's a busy week for you.
a lot of busy weeks. Leaving for MXDN,
Yeah.
heading to Dallas tomorrow night, fly out Thursday morning. Before we get into MXDN, this last weekend, you and I, our buddies Cooley, Mark, Chase, we all went down to Cycle Land
And Jordan.
in East Texas, Jordan.
Yep.
Scott Foster, WPS rep around here, and Courtney Christian. They have memberships at I don't know if I should name the place because I don't know
It's a very exclusive
Yeah.
riding place that maybe
So I'm
one
not
day
gonna
they'll
name
let
it.
me join.
Probably not. I have already put in. I sent an email today telling them why they should not let you be a member. But Scott Foster, Courtney Christian, our buddy Cash, a bunch of the kids, the different people out there took us on some trail riding, some single track.
3,000 acres of unlimited trails, and it's one of the
Well,
most.
it's not unlimited trails.
It's unlimited.
It is limited to the 3,000 acres.
I'm just saying,
or
like,
whatever.
to so many trails, we crossed so many trails. It's like, oh, what's that trail? Oh, what's that trail? What's that trail?
I don't remember that. I remember you guys going, I'm tired. I'm sore. I just want to go home.
That wasn't me.
I know.
Okay, make sure because we did have one casualty. Cooley
He
smoked
didn't
a
make it
tree.
to the first trail. He didn't make it to the end of the first trail.
No, oh
No, we didn't. He never got. Remember, we stopped after the first trail before we went to the second half of the first trail.
no, he took a he just saw a turn that said camp and went back that way and then
I thought that's when he got hurt. Did
no,
he?
then he
Okay.
went back out the second time.
That's right. That's
And,
right. You are right.
And then he got hung up behind one of the younger kids that were riding, and they were like I mean, the kid's riding as hard as he can. He was riding good. The kid on I think a 65 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he they got around him, and when they did, they dropped the hammer to try to catch back up to the front group, and I guess he got cross-rutted. And our group message has been quite amazing with the JT's tree service.
The tree memes.
Yeah, J Tree. It's been really good.
He fought a tree with his shoulder and lost.
Yeah, like maybe some major damage in his shoulder.
Yeah.
But
This place, I have never rode cross-country single track other than when I was about 19 or 20 with
Yeah.
the same group of guys, actually.
yeah,
And that was the only time I've ever done it in my life. So it's been 30-something years or whatever, almost my whole life without really riding like that. I am absolutely in love with it.
yep, it was fun.
Yeah, I rode the two-stroke, the 250 two-stroke, and the 350 Husky. Kind of seeing which one I liked. They both had some high points.
You gonna write an article or something for Vital?
Considering it.
I think you
considering
should.
it,
I
yeah.
think that would be. I know you got a lot going on in your plate, but while it's fresh in your mind, jot
Yeah.
some notes down so you can have that in your back
Maybe
pocket.
I'll do that on the plane on the way to MXoN.
Yeah, because I think it'd be a really interesting video or not video, but article to write.
Yeah,
about it too.
the single track stuff is a lot of fun. I felt like there was a lot of technique we could learn to use in moto, braking, cornering. Trying to not take wide corners. You got because you might hit a tree there, and there's a
'Cause of
tree.
trees.
Yeah. So, yeah. What'd you think of it though?
I had a lot of fun. I went down a couple times. One time was like over the bars and all that stuff, but it was just Other than that, I had a lot of fun. I love riding that. We do a lot of that. Me and some other buddies on pit bikes, and I enjoy it on the big bikes too. To the point that I'm going to basically like bribe, murder, and kill or whatever to get joined into that place. It's exclusive. There's like a multi-year wait list to get in there.
Yeah.
I signed up today to be on the wait list, and so
Cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I appreciate Scott Foster and Courtney Christian having us out. I definitely want to do it again. I think I had over 3 hours of Strava time for my watch, and my watch was not picking everything up.
Yeah.
So it kept cutting out. So I think I probably rode over 3 hours total.
That was probably the first time we went out when I filled back up with fuel. That's the lowest I had ever run my bike in one ride.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I raced that Torn race a couple months ago, and I think I used more fuel and rode longer than so we rode out well over an hour in that first ride. So it was fun.
Yeah, I think the first one was like 59 minutes because I had
Yeah.
my GoPro stuff going too, which the GoPro keeps cutting off after 11 minutes and then it stops recording. I did a little research on that. And the only thing I got from GoPro was if your memory card is not fast enough, whatever that means. Like I remember.
It's at the upload speed.
Okay, so that the camera, it can't keep up with the camera and it shuts off. It'll shut off. So I guess maybe I need to upgrade my memory card.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's all it is. But even like when I'm recording interviews, I've noticed it cut off sometimes. And like my mountain bike ride the other day was an hour, and about 11 minutes in, it just cut off. So
Yeah.
I guess it's the memory card.
Yeah, it just sounds like it because it's basically a choke point for the video processing, and basically it's making video so fast that it can't keep up. So the camera's like, I'm obviously not recording, and it shuts off.
Gotcha. Well, I got to fix that.
Yep.
This is the X Brand Lucid Conversations, as I said. The X Brand Lucids are available at your dealerships through WPS. They come with wave latch quick release lens system, race face 4-layer factory foam, Lucid extreme definition optics. Check your local dealership. They are amazing. Again, they were soaking wet. I felt like I could wring the water out of the foam and just never got anything in my eye.
I put them through the washing machine when I got home because mine were so bad. First off, that's the first time that I've pulled the lenses on a set of those. I didn't realize it. And that is actually as easy as what they say once I've figured out how to do it. And then they held up great through the wash machine. They look brand new. So
fantastic. Xbrand.com.
I was worried because usually I just spray them out with the water hose and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
mine are actually sitting right there in front of the white ones right there next to that helmet are the ones I wore.
Yep.
Not that. What is that?
This is my hat.
Oh, okay. Well, they're sitting right there on camera, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyways, they, that place was awesome. And you rode good.
I felt decent. I never got tired.
Yeah.
That's the big thing for me is like I rode all that time and I felt really good. Afterwards, I drove to Chipotle, got a big old bowl of Chipotle.
What the heck is a Chipotle?
In the town next, not the town you went through, but again, I don't know if we're supposed to say where this is. Not the name. Okay, it's in Nacogdoches.
Yeah. Oh, there's one in Nacogdoches.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, college town. Man. Of course, I got a Chipotle.
Yeah. Well, I guess I headed straight away. Like
you went to Lufkin, right?
Yeah.
You went the other way. Yeah. So I went to Nacogdoches to go home, and I stopped and ate, and then drove home. And I actually wanted to go on a mountain bike ride later, but I didn't get to. I was too busy.
Yeah, Steve is gonna get worked at.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, he might just be way better than I am.
Oh, he is way better than you. But
well, yeah, MXoN coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Again, leave out in a couple days. We're only got a few more minutes before we got to go get to Joshua Varize. But what are your thoughts on the Ken Roxon stuff?
I think
We haven't talked about it.
Yeah, I think Ken just and they just got a bad taste in their mouth with Honda, and Honda has
a bad taste, or Kenny has a bad
both.
taste. Okay,
both. I'm saying them and Honda because obviously Ken is. Well, I guess he'll never be on the show anyways. So, but
it's hard. Maybe who knows?
Yeah, but he just seems like maybe some of the things he's gone through has made him harder to deal with, and so because he's been hurt because of this, and I mean he's obviously like a social juggernaut as far as you want your product on someone like that.
Sure.
And I think that they just had a falling out, and maybe he's done with dealing with them and their stuff.
I kind of wonder if he just feels like sometimes you get to a certain level of success or whatever when you feel like I can just do whatever I want.
That's exactly. That's
what
what
I
I
mean.
mean.
They're not going to let me go.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I wonder how much, if there's any of that in there. I mean, I've heard some backstory stuff, some behind the scenes stuff that really can't talk about. But
they don't bring it up.
I don't think Honda's going to be like super upset if he goes somewhere else. Like I don't think it's that big of a deal.
No.
And I know there's other options out there. I kind of feel like he might end up a Star. I know last night they were talking about Kawasaki or KTM. I would think Star is more likely, just because Bobby Reagan doesn't seem to be afraid to get as many riders as he wants and spend as much money as he wants. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't like how he handled it on social media, and I feel like Honda handled it very professionally.
I feel like it didn't catch me off guard the way he handled it at all. Like it was like, yep, that's Ken. Like it's the way he's always been.
Yeah, I don't like that. I guess it seemed unprofessional.
Absolutely. So yeah. Anyways.
What about what they did announce last night? I didn't know this. Steve talked about it. That I didn't think Dylan. I think I said last week Dylan Ferrandis wasn't going to race this weekend, but he is.
Oh, he is.
I was wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard that yet.
He's lining up. I tried to get him on the show tonight. He couldn't do it. Tried to get a bunch of riders on the show tonight that couldn't do it.
So wow, like it just got a little bit harder.
Yeah, France should still be pretty good, but
France is going to be good.
I still think the team, us and Australia are the teams to beat.
It's going to rain.
Yeah, maybe. They're showing 48%.
I think that Jet wins every moto he lines up for.
Really? Overalls?
Absolutely.
You think he beats Eli and Chase on a 450?
Because what is it? Because
I'll bet you a steak dinner at Leon's. It's about
But that's money. I don't
it's
want
like
to bet money
$25,
on it. But
basically $30.
Hear me out.
No,
There's no real pressure.
I'm gonna mute your mic unless you take the bet. So you're not taking the bet?
I'm not taking the bet.
So you're not very confident.
That's money. You're betting
Well,
money.
you should be confident.
This is a kind of an out of the box thinking, but he's going to be.
Stop acting like an idiot. You're the idiot. Don't be an idiot. Changed my life.
Go ahead.
He's going to be like have no real pressure because people have already, I guess, not discounting him, but it's not a real pressure. He doesn't have to ride the 450 next year for Supercross. He's just doing this. He's going to have fun. And if he gets out front, he's going to ride over his head because that's how he is. And I think there's a good chance that he wins both of his motos.
Okay. Well, let's go to commercial break. We'll be back with Joshua Varize. Okay, our first guest of the night is going to be brought to you tonight by Race Tech. Race Tech is the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. All Race Tech products include award-winning gold valves and settings are 100% guaranteed and made in the USA. Visit racetech.com for more info and use that promo code MOTOXPOD to save. Tonight, Race Tech brings us from AEO Motorsports, Joshua Varize. What's up, Joshua?
Hey, how's it going? Doing good.
Good to hear from you, man. Good. It's been I haven't talked to you probably, I don't know, a month or two since the last time I saw you. So we finished the season, I believe 15th overall. You got a top 10 at Washougal. How do you feel about your season?
Obviously my outdoor season and then Supercross season, the whole year was pretty much kind of one big struggle in a way. I came into both series with injuries. Like Supercross came in with a dislocated wrist and like just a handful of weeks back on the bike, and I still actually have a torn ligament in my wrist. And then outdoors, I crashed about like 4 weeks before the first round, and I broke my collarbone and kind of messed up my AC joint. So I took 2 weeks off and I was like, all right, we got to race. So like I said, yeah, I came into both seasons injured, but felt like I was building pretty good throughout the season, and then just kind of feel like I got into like a good groove with like gate drops and stuff at Washougal. And then that 3-week break, hit us, and I think maybe I don't know, I kind of like maybe lost it a little bit, like as far as like the racing like intensity.
Yeah,
obviously
sure.
Like had it at Washougal and then went to Unadilla and was like having to try and like, I don't know, I just didn't feel right.
Well, people have to realize you came off, like you said, a couple injuries. You were on factory Husqvarna, and then you switched to the AEO KTM team. And although the bikes are similar, it's still different programs, a little different. Like it's your second year full pro as a pro. So that's a lot of things being thrown at you in the middle of the season.
Yeah. It was definitely like my first full year being pro, was definitely a lot different, because now like I don't think I've ever sent and received so many emails in my life. Like that, like I was like, holy crap, this is gnarly, like stuff coming in, stuff going out. And it was like a lot of like, got to fill this out, got to do like, so I feel like because more of it's now like I'm kind of handling everything, if that makes sense. Like, my dad did everything, and my mom.
So there's a lot more business side of it.
It's kind of like transitioning to me doing everything. So it's like, this whole like year has been pretty, like it's been a huge learning experience.
How do you feel? I think the idea is still to stick with AEO for next year. I don't know if you've locked that in, but as the team built this year, did you notice them figuring things out more and more, and the team got better and stronger? Because I know that Jeremy really has a passion for this, and he's putting a lot of effort into it. Did you notice the team getting better?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, there's little things that get fixed here and there or whatever. Like as far as me, I felt like everything went really smooth this year. There wasn't any like big changes that had to go on or anything like that.
Okay.
And, everything, like I said, everything went smooth. I'm really happy with how everything's being ran, and and the plan is to stay with AEO for next year, which I'm super grateful and looking forward to that. And stoked to see what the future holds with them, and also have another year of learning and experience with all that, and more testing and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's a key, is getting more testing in for sure.
Yeah, because obviously I hopped on the bike after the first 2 rounds of outdoors, so there wasn't a whole bunch of room to do like some crazy testing,
Sure.
Little stuff here and there, obviously, but as far as like being at the track all day, you don't really, it's not ideal to do that in the middle of the
Mid-season.
season.
Absolutely right.
So coming into this year, like the last few years for you, you've had like questions coming in, not having like a straight program and everything hammered out. How is it this year? Like how does that work for you for your off season? Is it, I know it takes a lot of pressure off you, but what do you change now that you know you have a good solid program going into 23?
Yeah, I think it's a lot, like my mentality will be a lot stronger. Cause yeah, last year off season, there was a lot of, kind of like, what's going to happen? What are we going to do? Like, stuff going on like that. And, so I think this year now, like already like my program's set, like we know what we're doing. Now I can just like stick my mindset into training and working hard for the seasons coming up. And also like last year, last off season or boot camp or whatever, I was pretty much doing everything, like all my own bike work, doing the gym work, doing the cycling and stuff like that. So it was like definitely a lot, where I think this year with having a mechanic and having that like whole team backing me, I just feel like my mindset is going to get stronger. And, yeah, like I said, going into the next year, I'll have a way better mindset.
When you got the deal with Husky and we talked at Hangtown in 21, one of the things you mentioned that was so beneficial to you that you weren't used to was having all the data, like the Lit Pro, and having somebody to talk to you about that kind of stuff. I assume you don't have access to all that at AEO. First of all, do you have that kind of data acquisition with AEO?
No, and when I was with Husky, we didn't really have, or I guess it's like with the 2 rounds I was with them, I don't recall ever having kind of like data stuff like that. It was more of like having like the data, which was like everyone on the track. Like, you got like a suspension guy over here, a suspension guy over there, like 4 guys over here. So like there was eyes everywhere, and it was like everyone kind of knew like, this section, so-and-so's doing this, and you're doing this or whatever. And like, oh, let me change your suspension and stuff like that, where AO is still like amazing, with that stuff. But, I guess that's the only things like, there's one suspension guy where like, a factory team has multiple or whatever, and they can all see different things and how the bike's reacting. But, no, with AEO, it's still pretty similar. But it's more so of having like that huge team of eyes on the track.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. And I want to go back to the testing discussion a minute ago. I don't know what you're allowed to say or if you even know, but I feel like in the middle of the season with AEO, there was a triple clamp change or something that I heard about that maybe wasn't as good or something, but the team really, from what I understand, worked very hard to figure with what they had after the change to make the bike better. Like I think Derek did some testing, and like it seems like the team really wanted to make the best out of what they had.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I didn't really even hear about that. I think I remember there being some kind of triple clamp thing at one of the rounds, but I wasn't like, I just thought like, oh, you're just changing that. But yeah, I came in obviously after, I guess, triple clamps went from this one to that one or whatever.
Okay.
Like I said, I never really heard anything about that.
All good.
One of our listeners on YouTube asked if Mark Barnett wanted to know, or Burnett, sorry, if you and Derek were going to be West Coast.
I believe that would be the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the plan for sure to be on the West Coast, in which I'm hoping so too, because I live in Southern California, and my first 2 Supercross seasons I've done East Coast. So I'm like, dang, like the whole like dream was to do A1, right? Like all the hype around the first round. And I remember like, being 11 years old, like, dude, I'm going to race A1 as my, my like rookie season or whatever. And I haven't even done it yet. So,
Right.
No, yeah, hopefully that's the plan to race West Coast. And as far as I know, that's what it is for sure.
Yeah. The last few years, the West Coast the East Coast has been a little more stacked in the 250 class, it seems like, as far as like depth. And I was talking to somebody yesterday, and we were talking about how West Coast this year is probably going to wind up getting stacked because everybody's going to be, it's cheaper, a little less traveling, a little better weather.
Depends on preseason injuries.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's the reason I did East Coast this year was because I got hurt in November, and there was no way I was going to be ready for West Coast. So obviously I used that extra month and a half or whatever it is to heal up. But like you said, yeah, being cheaper for travel. East Coast is more of like those. I'm like, that's insane. That's a lot of traveling, which I did East Coast my first year, and me and my dad drove to them all. But that was because we were at the same stadium for, we did 3 rounds in that stadium for a week.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was, you travel to the big city and you stay there for, a week and a half or whatever, and then go to the next one and do the same. So it was we only went to really 3 stadiums for the first part, before the break. But it's definitely, yeah, like maybe East Coast in the first year, I feel like it was pretty stacked, but West had a lot of the guys that were still preparing for Supercross, like you said, with like the injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
But West Coast, you see a lot of guys too. They do like one coast on 450 and then the other coast on 250, and they kind of flip flop it like that. But yeah, definitely East Coast this year was stacked for sure.
How do you feel about finishing behind your teammate Derek Kelly? Like, you were, I think, 16 points behind. You guys were very close multiple times, at races. And I know it's always, there's a little bit of competition under every tent to be the better of the 2 or 3 teammates. What was that competition like between you guys? I know you're friends, but was it motivation?
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously, like to keep it fun. It's obviously not ideal to butt heads with your teammate, right? But
sure.
No, obviously we joke around and mess with each other, and we keep it fun for sure. And obviously it's kind of like your best friend, you obviously want to be better, but
of course,
for me at least, I don't like to take it to that part where it's like, all right, you're kind of arguing or fighting over whatever, you know what I'm saying? Obviously if it was another guy I don't talk to, or he's on another team, obviously I'm gonna be like, dude, like I gotta get him. Obviously I want to get my teammate, but still keeping it fun in the pits at the same time. And I had a couple motos. I think it was like second moto at High Point and second moto, both motos at Red Bud. Honestly, those are terrible, but those are where I lost so many points on Derek, and that's where I was like, dang it, if I didn't make those mistakes, I could have been a little bit closer, because I knew going into Paul, I was like, man, if I'm gonna pass Derek, like I gotta really do good. And but I knew he was gonna do good too. Obviously the last 4 rounds he was killing it, and we both had bad luck in Moto 1 of Ironman as well too. Like first lap I got cross jumped, crashed pretty hard, and bike was so mangled, and I pulled mechanics area to try to straighten out, and by the time I did that, I was already a lap down, and I was like, dude, there's no way I'm gonna get points, so I think I just need to go back and regroup, because I was pretty banged up. But when I went back to the rig, I seen like Amanda, the team manager, walking back. I'm like, why is she walking back? Like Derek's still racing. And then I seen Derek's bike getting like towed in by one of the mules or whatever. And I was like, oh no way! Like, so there was definitely a lot of points that was left on the table. But for sure, going into next year now, like our numbers being right next to each other, like the numbers just came out today, and he's number 41 and I'm number 42. Like that's gonna be pretty cool, being that close. And also like we tied in points, or not tied in points, but got the same amount of points in Supercross too, which is kind of funny. Like he got 78 and I got 78, so we're like right there, and I think that's gonna help us like get better next season. Is like we're like the same speed, so it's like we can just help each other get better and move up forward.
Yeah, I want to ask you. You talked about Well, I was wondering what happened at the Ironman because I saw you guys drop off, and I was wondering if there was like a similar bike issue, like the bike broke or a crash. I never really heard, so that answered that actually. But you talked about making some mistakes, and I know at Paula was a rough day for you, or Fox 2, whatever you want to call it, and you had a couple tip overs, and then the heat and all that. But so taking all the things that didn't go well this season, are you able to analyze that and say, okay, I can learn from this, I know what I need to change, and use that for next season, including in Supercross, because you definitely know you have a few things to work on in Supercross. So can you take all the things that you've learned this season and feel like you can roll that into something to improve next season?
Yeah, definitely. And it's obviously, like everyone says, the key is the starts. And this year, man, I don't know what was going on with my starts. First round, first moto, like I got a good start. I was like 4th place.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was like 5th, and I actually like moved into 4th. And I was like, okay, cool. And then it just kind of, my starts were just never there. And I don't know what was up with that. I definitely got to figure that out. But I did a couple great starts yesterday, and I feel like maybe like kind of figuring out just doing all kinds of different things on dirt. I kind of brought it over to the grate and felt like a rocket ship.
There you go. All right.
So
all right.
hopefully going into Supercross next year, I'll be able to get most of the hole shots, and that'll obviously help out everything. Like literally, I've learned. I always thought like like as an amateur, when you do a local race or whatever, you're kind of like, oh, I'm the fastest guy. Like if I don't get a good start, I'll still win, because like you're just kind of like, I'll just be able to pass everyone. But once you go and like get into the pro league, it's not like literally a start. I never realized until I started racing pro, like a start helps so much, because the last 2 rounds last year, obviously with Husqvarna, the factory Husky,
Mm-hmm.
I got good starts in the last 4 motos, and it helped so much. I finished in the top 10. Like, I'm thinking like, oh man, this isn't going to be a good place. I don't feel good. And I come off the track. I'm like, hey, what place did I get? And they're like, oh, 7th. I'm like, no way. Like the start is just really key. And it, like I said, it makes the race so much easier.
100%. A comment you made a few minutes ago, you're talking about Redbud, and it didn't go well for you. You're going to have to do a little better than that this coming weekend, because you're racing for Team Guam. Talk about that, your thoughts on going back to Redbud, doing MXoN. Just it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm so stoked and grateful for the opportunity. Sean Lepanovich, his dad, Pete, got in contact with me about it, and I was like, man, I'm down, because that's going to be so fun, just racing a different style format, and also racing people from around the world. So like that's definitely going to be super exciting. And going back to Redbud, I like the track, but like it's like a hit or miss, right? But yeah. I think I am going to MXoN is going to be more of just like having fun. And I think if I come in to that with that mentality, I think it just make the whole weekend good, and like not take it like so. I feel like I worry too much about like I gotta do good, where I kind of just have to lay back and just kind of just ride like I know how to. Because when I'm practicing during the week, I feel amazing. Like lap times are good, like feel so smooth on the bike, and then like we go racing and I just like tense up and just throw everything I know out the window in a way. Like I don't know what the heck is going on, right? So I think it's just kind of have to go into it like I'm just going there just to just relax and just have fun and get gate drops. But definitely want to do good, obviously, because like I said, we're racing with everyone from around the world, and then also being like combined with the 450 classes. So I'm going to be racing against like all these 450 guys plus 250 guys. So like I'm stoked about the format too, because you have like 40-minute qualifier or 40-minute practice, stuff like that. You get to kind of like learn the track in a different way and be able to try different things in practice. So I'm super stoked for this opportunity.
Yeah, the practice, that's a big thing, right? I know in Supercross and Nationals, like you don't get much time, and you basically have to go. We talk about this all the time. Lap 1, you got to go put heaters in. You got to get a clean lap, and that's not going to be the case this weekend. So that's good. I like that you're saying, hey, not a lot of pressure. Let's have fun. I think that will loosen you up, like you talked about. But I am going to put a little bit of pressure on you, just a little bit. As a member of Team Guam, you are basically a member of Team USA. So if Jet is about to pass you, don't feel bad about taking his front wheel out. Okay, you can help Team USA out.
Oh my gosh.
Don't do that to Hunter because Hunter's my boy. But if you got to take Jet down, I'll allow it.
Well, hopefully we just get good starts and just be up front and don't even have to worry about anyone passing.
All right, I just think you might need to run interference, but okay, fair enough.
But yeah, and then obviously them having the greats, MXGP. I think, like I said, I did a couple great starts yesterday. And,
nice.
Man, they felt good. Like, I think, during the outdoor season, I tried some new things, like, on the starts where, like, I wasn't doing before. Where just, I was squeezing and stuff like that, where I felt like I just kind of just pull the clutch in, rev the bike, and go.
Yeah.
Like I said, I kind of fixed my technique with everything. And, like I said, I brought it onto the grate, and that's a big game changer. So definitely stoked to check that out. And obviously there's going to be 450s and 250s combined. So
sure.
It's going to make it interesting. Obviously get a whole shot on a 250 would be pretty sick. And lead a couple laps, who knows?
Do you think, TJ, they would notice if he brought the 350 instead? Like,
yeah,
I don't think they would even notice.
Yeah,
just take a 350. You need an extra
take a 350.
Yeah. It's like it.
Well, that leads me to my kind of question. Coming into here, this kind of a last minute thing, especially for like Puerto Rico, Guam. Those teams, they're not like.
I don't think Puerto Rico has a team this year. I thought I heard that. Maybe
that's
I'm wrong.
right. I think you're right.
Anyway.
Because of what's going on over there.
Yeah.
But still, those type of teams are kind of in the grand scheme of things, kind of last minute. And what kind of support when you're going to this? Like, is AEO bringing a rig? How does that work?
So as far as I know, I just heard about like when obviously a lot of stuff was getting announced for donations, which I learned. I never knew this. I guess a lot of the teams kind of like, I don't know if you'd say rent or loan or whatever. Like they bring their rigs out for the other teams that come over from overseas.
Yeah.
So like, I think I remember the truck driver for AEO at the time was saying something about like, oh, they might, bring the truck out for a team or whatever. But that didn't happen. But I believe, I don't know where we're going to be. I know there's a rig out there for us, like one of the rigs that go to all the pro motocross. I think they're going to have a rig out there for us. But
awesome.
Team Guam, so it's going to be me, Sean Lepanovich, and Benny Bloss.
Yeah.
But Benny's going to be driving there in like his motorhome. But then since me and Sean live out here in Southern California, we rented Pete, Sean's dad, rented a van, and that's going to be driven out there with our stuff in it to Redbud.
Perfect. Yeah. All the U.S. rigs are usually there. Each team gets one. I thought the AEO rig was going, but anyway, I know that some of the AEO team members are going,
right, or
were going. I don't know if anything's changed, but yeah. So, but
I just didn't know, like you, but you'll have your full race bike and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Obviously when I got the call from Pete, I made sure with AEO, like it was cool to ride my race bike and stuff like that. So
cool.
They're totally on board with it. Everyone's stoked about it, and it'll be cool to represent Guam.
Awesome. Well, Joshua, I'll see you this weekend, man. But looking forward to seeing you out there, and thank you for answering today and coming on the show. I know it's kind of last minute.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, I wasn't doing anything my day off, I did a road bike ride in the morning, and now just relax and get ready to ride tomorrow. But
how far did you ride today?
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
How far did you ride today?
It was only an hour. Zone 1, just keep it light, but it was like 18 miles.
Ooh, I got you beat. I did 20.
Oh man, next time I'm gonna have to, before I'm done with my road bike ride.
Yeah, listen, if you do any more,
hey, how many miles did you do on your road bike?
If you do any more than
I did 24. And I'm like, oh shoot, I only did 20. Yeah. All right, I'll go crank out a couple more.
If you do any more than 20, you got me. That's about all I got in me. So that's my loop, and then I'm dying. So yeah,
so
this is my one win.
So him and my son have been talking about road biking and doing miles, and I hear about it all the time. So the other day, I put in 5 miles on the little electric scooter, and so I posted that up. That was my 5-mile loop on the electric scooter.
Yeah, now I just know I have to do 20 miles, 20.8 miles, and I'm gonna take a photo of it and send it to you. Like, hey, I got you today.
Yeah, you'll get me. I've been riding a mountain bike more, and our loop is like 5 miles, but it's a lot obviously more aggressive.
Oh yeah.
First of all, I'm only about 6 or 7 weeks into quote unquote training. So I started at like 3 miles, and I was dying. So I'm up to 20-ish. But
yeah.
Hey, so Vet Nationals are in a few weeks, and if you're home in SoCal, you can come down and give me some tips.
Are you racing it?
Yeah, I'm racing Mathis.
Oh dang, I might have to come on there.
Yeah, you need to.
So, and also, we have a lot of stuff in our studio. If you wind up with an extra set of Guam graphics,
graphics.
The graphics, yeah, for the bikes, I would love to have a shroud or something.
That'd be cool.
Definitely, I'll see if we got any.
That's something that nobody would have.
Yeah, there's not gonna be that many sets.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Josh, we'll let you go, man. I appreciate you coming on, and I'll see you in a couple days.
Yeah, for sure. I'll see you this weekend, and have a good one.
You too, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
I
Joshua Varize.
I don't really care about asking for stuff much, but we have some things like the graphics there from Brayton that are very limited.
I think I have those are the St. Jude's ones.
St. Jude ones. Yep.
LeMay.
Yep. And Brayton.
Brayton, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know where the LeMay ones are. Oh, right there.
Right there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's
you can't see those on camera.
You can't see them on camera, but it's super cool.
Yeah. That'd be cool to have. Maybe we'll come home with stuff. I was only going to take a carry-on bag. Maybe I should take my 9800 just in case I get stuff to bring home. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's take another commercial break. We'll be back with Seth Hammaker.
So they talked about this, and we won't put this on the podcast. This is for YouTube only. We got a lot of really cool stuff in here.
Uh-huh.
Like that question that caller called in and asked Steve at his studio.
Yeah.
Like, I know what I would steal from here if I could. I know exactly what it would be. What do you think it would be? It needs to come back home to my house and hang back on my wall like it should.
Oh, the Blake Baggett?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, he didn't like you.
He did.
What do you mean come back home?
It was hanging up when the studio was at my house.
Oh, I brought it over.
No, it was shipped to my house, for the show.
Oh,
but you got it.
He gave it to me.
I know, but I'm just saying. But
yeah, I don't know that what my. I don't know if I have a
jersey.
Well, I probably might. The Slayer ones are up there, but probably my Chiz stuff. The very first jersey I ever got.
Yeah,
because that was like 4 years of me asking him.
The people can see it in the top left corner, like right up there. Yeah.
That was the jersey. I think in 2011 I asked him at Freestone, and then I asked him like the next year at Freestone in Dallas. I asked him for like 4 years. I wasn't doing media. I was just what do you point, the Bradshaw?
No, the poster.
Oh, the scrub one?
Yes.
Of James? Yeah, that's pretty good. The Bradshaw one's good too. But the Chiz one took a lot of work, and I wasn't media. I had no connections, and he remembered me every year. And he's like, dude, I know every year I tell you I'm going to give you one. And he finally gave me his press day jersey, sweaty. And
he only remembered you because of the ponytail that you no longer have. Like, you had that look, the bandana ponytail.
You're probably right. He texted me today. I actually asked him to come on the show, and he's like, I was just about to text you and say you haven't had me on in a long time and give you crap. And then he couldn't come on, but like, it's weird just that we're like friends now. And, and he was the guy that was my guy. So that might be the one I would have to keep.
That didn't happen with me and Baggett.
No. Blake and I talk all the time.
He did like my post, one of my posts that I posted up on Instagram.
Looking around, like my Ryder D jersey, that's cool. When did he do that? A couple years ago?
Yeah.
The little Ryder D jersey, I like the T-Deck. See, I like all that. The Ferrandis #1, that's a good one. The jersey.
Got that #4 up there. Just saying.
The Slayer jerseys.
Like seriously, like this poster that people can't see up there. Yeah. Because we have to reorganize it. But it's the scrub, the famous scrub on James on a 125 is probably one of the coolest photos ever. And I don't know where you got that poster.
Many years ago, there was a place called poster.com or something like that. Yeah. And I just I went in there and put in motocross, and that was one that came up. And then the McGrath ones that are in the bathroom, the No Fear ones, those all came from there. What about, my signed Diana Dahlgren calendar.
Next to the toilet paper? in the lotion.
Where else would you put it? Got to be convenient.
All right.
Let's get Seth Hammaker on. And it is Hammaker, just so you know.
Yeah, it's Hammaker.
No, Hammaker.
Hammaker, that's what I said.
You're saying Macker, Hammaker.
That's just because I have a southern accent.
But his name, I used to say Hammaker, and I called Weege out because Weege was saying it on the show, and I was making fun of him. And then I asked Seth, and he goes, well, he's actually right. It's Hammaker.
Hammaker.
Okay. This is just like the Cherby's thing. You're refusing to say it properly.
Oh, I'm saying
You're
it right.
not saying A. You're saying ah.
Hammaker. Hammaker.
There it is. That's it.
Hammaker.
There you go.
That's what I was saying the whole time.
It didn't sound like it.
Well, you're dumb.
I don't think I am. I'm the one that can spell and always has to correct your spelling because you're dumb because you don't understand the English language.
Look, I have learned something about the English language, and it helps me with spelling because somebody explained to me why, like, the word dark is spelt with a K.
Okay.
Because you can't see in the dark.
Okay, it took me a second. I was like trying to figure out what stupid. You're an idiot. Point proven. Let's get Hammaker on. He can make some ham. We're back from commercial break. Our next guest is brought to you tonight by Works Connection. Since the inception of Works Connection in 1989, Eric Phipps' goal has been to produce Works-like products for the general public. The products that fit with products like the industry standard Pro Launch Start device, the Elite Clutch Perch, the radiator braces, which I need when I crash, customized master cylinder covers, and much more. It's hard to imagine you not going to WorksConnection.com so you too can have what the pros use. Promo code MOTOXPOD20 to save. Tonight, Works Connection brings us Seth Hammaker. What's up, Seth?
Not much. How are you guys doing?
We're good. I got your name right. I learned from Weege.
Yep.
I learned from Weege.
That's right.
I know I talked to you about it, but I was making fun of him for saying it wrong, and then you told me I was the idiot.
Right.
But what he missed,
good.
what he missed was the 10-minute back and forth conversation about how I was saying it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. TJ can't speak very good English, but Seth, man, how you feeling, man? How you doing? Are you feeling good about the season being over, getting a little recovery?
Yeah. It's been good. I'm back in Pennsylvania now for a little bit, but it feels good to have some downtime and get my body recovered. But yeah, I felt like the outdoor season was a positive just to make it through the whole season without being injured.
Yep.
I missed buds from a crash in Unadilla, but other than that, I felt like it was definitely a positive. Just getting to all the rounds, getting as many laps as I can, and building. So
yeah, I think all your results. I don't think you got inside the top 5, but a 7th overall, some consistency and something to build off of.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, 7th overall in the season, and then you were just talking about the top 5. That was the goal at the end, like midway through the season, was just like, all right, let's get a top 5, and never got that. But it is what it is. Just had some, I don't know. I was running up front, had good starts, but couldn't put 2 motos together on the same weekend, I guess. And it is what it is. Just keep learning. So
yeah, do you feel like that's again youth, mental? Do you feel like there's just some physical stuff? What do you feel like the number one reason is that you were falling off a little bit?
I think a little bit of everything. Like, just like a percent here on everything. Like, I feel like the physical aspect, I know I need to be a little bit more fit for the last 10 minutes, I would say. Like, just after 25 minutes, it's those guys don't drop off, their lap times stay the same. So I know I need to get better at that. And just, I think once you have good finishes riding up front, your confidence is going to grow off of that. So
yeah,
I think that's a big thing. And yeah, I feel like I'm a good starter. I start up front, but it's just kind of staying up there for the whole moto. Those guys can go the distance. And yeah, I think once I can do that confident, I'll know that before the gate drops.
There you go.
So talking about being back out east and taking some time to recuperate, stuff like that, what do you do in your time off like this? You into fishing, or what are you into?
Yeah, so the first week I was home, we just like nothing, no off the bike stuff, no riding obviously. And then we kind of got back to some off the bike training this week and then next week. But other than like there's just stuff away from moto, yeah, fishing, actually going fishing tomorrow, then just been golfing. And it's actually really just good to see my family and friends back home. It's been a while since I've been able to come back to PA, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. So
yeah, Seth, you and I big golfers.
yeah, we need to go That'd be fun.
It's sort of an inside joke because for months and years, I've been like, I don't get it. I don't get golf. I don't understand why everybody golfs. And then I played that. I played that tournament after Paula with Paul Parabinos.
Yep.
And I'm kind of hooked.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, it's not awesome because I'm
just
terrible.
Something about it. Yeah.
No, he is terrible. Like I don't know if you saw them when they.
He didn't pay attention to that.
But they posted on Instagram. Somebody was posting it up, and it may have been. And I don't even golf that much. I haven't in probably 5 years. But watching him was it looked like a stick man trying to golf. It was amazingly terrible.
Very stiff.
Very stiff.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, Seth, I'm not sure. Are you locked in for next year?
I am, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
I thought so, but I wasn't positive. How much of a relief is that? Like, is that a big weight off? You don't have to worry about that. Now it's just really the stuff you already talked about, the training, the getting better.
Yeah, it's a big weight off the shoulders. Just knowing that you have such a good team, and you just that you're locked in and have a great team behind you, and that believes in you, and just ready to. Really just ready to start working for the Supercross off season. And obviously, I've been with the team for 2 years now, so everything, enjoy working with everyone there. And looking forward to this coming year.
How's your relationship with Mitch? I don't know him very well, but
I was going to ask that.
Okay, we hear the stories, right, that he used to be pretty tough when things weren't going well. But like, how's your relationship with him? What do you learn from him?
It's been good. We, obviously there's good and bad days with everything, but I mean it's good because he's been around so long, and I can learn so much from him. Like even when Supercross, we go in and watch film, and just he's seen a lot, and knows a lot, just from being around so many riders. And obviously the riders that have come through his team have been really, really good and have gone on to have really good success. So just listening to him and trusting that, and it's been good. Obviously, like you said, that we got some days where things aren't going good, and he's not stoked, but that's
right.
That's how it goes. So,
sure.
Other than that, I've been enjoying it, and good to have him.
Awesome.
So speaking of being on that team is known for bringing up the best of the best through the amateurs, kids coming in constantly. But Mitch is also known for the guys that are working hard, doing good, keeping them around, and always supporting them. How is that for you, knowing that the next hot kid's coming in? Does that put extra pressure on you and all that kind of stuff, or how does that affect you?
Yeah. Like you said, there's always guys that are coming up. They want your spot. But I feel like the main thing, and you kind of touched on it with Mitch, is like if you're a hard worker and you don't give up and you're doing absolutely everything you can to do the best you can, he recognizes that, and he's gonna want to make the bike better, do everything he can to help you achieve your goals. So I think that's a big opportunity. And like you said, just I don't know, I always think about there other guys are working hard, so I'm gonna work harder just so I can keep this spot. And obviously I want to do really good, so that's why I work so hard. So
hey, I want to ask you about your program a little bit. Just not so much your riding program, but just day-to-day health, taking care of business, etc. I think when I met you last year, I think we actually ran into each other at like an IHOP or something. You were with your mom, right?
Yeah.
Is she? How old are you now?
21.
Okay, so 21. So your mom, I know she at least traveled with you some, and it's good to have some family around when you're starting out. Are you doing more of that on your own now? Do you still have family helping you out? Who's helping you with getting your lunch or the things you need to help on race day and even while practicing?
Yeah, so race days, my mom comes to every race. She was at every outdoor this year. And then she, helps with getting food ready for race day, and just throughout the day if I need drinks mixed up and stuff like that, making sure everything's on point so I can just focus on what I need to do. And then during the week, it's just me and my mechanic live together in an apartment in California. So pretty much me just prepping everything, during the week and stuff. It's kind of helps if I can get some stuff done, meal prep a little bit. That way you're not cooking every every day for lunch or something like that, make it a little easier, because it's busy during the week, obviously. So other than that, my mechanic helps me out a lot too, just with keeping stuff organized, not just the bike, but
Yeah.
he helps me a lot around the apartment when I need it, so that's always nice.
Yeah, I don't know, like people outside the industry so quote unquote may not realize like how important that is, especially on race day, that you're not having to go back in and out of the truck, right, and go, oh, I got to find my fruit or whatever, and I got to cook this, and you do need somebody, a man friend, a girlfriend, a mom, whatever. Like it really takes so much of the extra off of you on race day that having that family person there that you can trust is really important.
Absolutely, I totally agree. It's like one less thing you got to worry
Yeah.
about on race day, and keep your mind clear and make sure you're getting energy. That's for sure, because it's hard enough to eat on race day. You got to know that.
Yeah, definitely. I want to go back to a few weeks ago when I was out there in Cali. I came to the 23 250 Kawasaki 250 intro pro circuit. The boys were out there, dude. Jason Anderson on the 250. I feel like he could win the championship on that thing on
He
the
was
stock.
on it. I got to watch him a few laps. Jesus.
Jeez, like that uphill thing at Paris, that little uphill horseshoe thing on off camera, right? Like I don't know how he went around that corner so fast.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive to watch, and it was just completely stock.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I know it's sort of two separate teams, but do you get to spend any time with like Jason, or even, I know you probably have Brock around a little bit. What do you pick up on anything from those guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Supercross I rode with Jason quite a bit, like
Okay.
leading up to Supercross, or I guess last year's off season, and that helped a lot. I mean, just learning so much from him, his riding style and stuff that he does on the track or lines that he sees is pretty cool to watch and pick up on. And then obviously to see like how good he was doing throughout the Supercross season, it was like, man, that's cool to have him out at our test tracks and seeing what he's doing during the week too. So that was cool. Then outdoors, also got to ride with him a little bit. He was in New Mexico like the first part of the summer where he had his track back home, but and then also Savachi was out in California all summer too, so got to moto with him outdoors, so that was also good.
Do you actually take some time besides just riding though and ask questions? Are you that type of kid where you're like, hey man, like, what do you think about this, or how do you handle this in your career?
A little bit, not a whole lot.
Sure.
I think it's you say that, like I think it is important, and I think I'll do that even more this off season. Just because sometimes you just get caught up in the day to day. You're just like, oh, I got this, that, and the other. Then you have him right there. It's like, why not ask him advice or what he's done, and if you have a question on where you're at, he's been in like say my spot in his career at one point, so he knows what knows kind of what it feels like, and yeah, it'd be good to get some advice off of him for sure.
Yeah, it's a really good resource to have. Anybody like that, and I'm sure you could reach out to guys on other teams and they'd probably help you out. But having guys that could be kind of mentors, then to know what roadblocks are coming your way, like the sport is so mental that having a little bit of that in your back pocket would be as beneficial as having your mom or somebody that you can count on. Like it's all part of the toolkit you need.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is IT still part of that program over there? Oh, then he's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're a big IT fan.
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah. Hot sauce is like very few of the riders get me. Like most of the time, I'm like when we meet y'all guys, I'm like, hey, he's just a rider. But there's a few guys
Blake
like
Baggett and IT.
Yeah, Blake Baggett, IT. Those are my dudes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to have Hot Sauce on the program. He's a really good dude. So
Yeah, it was fun watching you guys ride. And then I think you left. I'm pretty sure you left. Maybe the whole team, Pro Circuit, left before I got on the 250. Thank God. So I don't remember when you left, but, I'm working for Vital. So Michael Lindsay rode the bike most of the time.
Uh-huh.
And I rode out there with Kiefer. And then, like, at noon, they supplied Chipotle. I was like, screw it, I'm going to eat. I ate 2 big old bowls. And while I'm sitting there, it's like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and Aiden was like, hey, Dad wants to leave at like 1:30. So I had like 45 minutes. And then Michael walks up and is like, hey, you can ride the bike now. I'm like, oh, great. I got like 30 minutes, and I literally just ate 2 bowls of Chipotle. This ought to go really well. And it's 113 degrees.
It was so hot that day.
Oh my God, it was. You've never seen anybody ride a 250F that slow. It was terrible. Like, I'm surprised they didn't come like say, "Hey man, you're gonna like ruin the bike because you're riding it too slow. You got to clean it out."
Bring it back.
Like a two-stroke.
Yeah, it was so embarrassing. Anyway, I'm glad you weren't out there for any of that because it was bad.
That's funny.
So what's the number one thing you want to work on for Supercross? What do you need? Where are you at? I always feel like whoop speed's the biggest thing, but maybe it's something else.
Yeah, no, you hit it right on. I mean,
Okay.
just perfecting the whoops for me. I feel like if I can do that, and it's just being more consistent. Really the thing is like at the test tracks you got, I'm sure you guys see the videos. It's just kind of like that path down the whoops. It's not really edgy. They're big, but they're not edgy. And then we get to the races, they're rutted, edgy. Especially come the main event. So. I feel like if I can work on that and have more confidence and just get more consistent through there, I feel like that's really going to help, just get me to that, like winning level every weekend, I guess you could say. Cause I feel like Supercross, my speed's always been good. It's just kind of a couple of hiccups to the whoops. Maybe that's been, hindering it a little bit, but if I can do that, that's pretty much the main thing this off season to, perfect. And maybe get my endurance a little bit better too.
Okay.
Talk to Mitch and Cowie to just open their track up one day to all the privateers and just get them to go out there. Just beat the hell out of the whoops one day. Just get like 10, 15 privateers out there, and then you'll have them tore up for the next week.
Or vets, because we would be rolling through them and just gassing it off the top.
Just run
it'd be breaking bumps in the whoops.
That's a good idea, though. Yeah, get them all torn up.
Yeah, let me ask you about that. When you go to a test track, you just sort of talked about that one groove. Do you force yourself ever to go, all right, I'm going to get out of this groove, and I'm going to go try a line that I know is not a good line, but let's try different lines, because in race situations, sometimes you have to change up those lines and use the ones that aren't good. Do you do that on purpose?
Yeah, we do. It's like you said, it's so easy to get just so like when you're, especially when you're moto and you're just like, oh, you're hitting the same line.
Yeah.
So actually IT's good for that. He really is like, if I'm doing that and we're doing motos, then he'll like break up the track and we, work on different lines, just cause we ride the same track, same lines, you want to mix it up and just practice for the races. Cause at the races, I mean, you need to have passing options and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, you could easily get locked into like a lap time battle, and I got to put good lap times in. Instead, you need to take the slower laps or the slower lines and see how the bike handles, right? And see what changes and just that racecraft.
Yeah, for sure. Because like mentally too, it's like like you said, the lap time battle. If you take the slower line, you're like worried about the lap times, but you just need to forget about that and know that it's for a better things ahead, I guess, So.
That's it.
So this coming up weekend, Moto Donations, and we just had Varize on. He's riding for Guam. Would you ever be interested in riding, like, if let's say you weren't on the Motocross Donations American team? Would you ever be interested in like a Puerto Rico or a Guam team just to go experience it, or are you like, I got to get to the American the premier? I would want to get to the premiere. I would want to, I think it'd be cool, but I would just really want to do it for USA and just gotcha.
Really like kind of that's like one of my goals for sure, is to race, be a part of the team one day.
You definitely have the talent to be up there. It's just a very short list of people who get to go. What
it is, it's you think about the people that have ever gone, it's not a whole lot.
Yeah, exactly. So what's your thoughts this? I mean, how do you think? I mean, obviously everybody knows that America's going to just demolish everybody and win, but how do you think it's going to go?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty confident in the team for USA this year. I think they're going to get it done. Yeah, I'm interested to see. Honestly, like, I'm not too sure about the other teams, like how good they're going to be, but
yeah.
I think isn't France going to be? Is France like one of the teams that's like probably
usually
pretty good? Right?
Yeah, because Dylan's racing. I can't remember Vial. I think Vial might be out.
Vial,
yeah. But France should be good. But Australia is really the one that I think we're most concerned with. With Jet and Hunter and Evans.
Well, I think his teammate could throw a wrench in there, getting Joe. Be up in the podium area, take spots.
He can be, but the other two guys.
I think no, it's not even just that. I think this year is going to be more about other teams who have good riders throwing a monkey wrench in the math.
I'd like to see Joe. I'd like to see Joe win a moto.
Yeah.
I mean, yes,
that'd be cool. I mean, as long as Team USA wins the overall, I'd like to see Joe.
Right.
Yeah, Seth, we like we said, we just had Josh on, and we worked a game plan out.
Yes.
Like, look, your Team Guam, which is basically Team USA, we're gonna need you to do some damage to Jet. Like, you're just gonna if he's behind you,
clean him.
Like that's your goal. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry, Mertz, but it's this weekend's about Team USA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, Seth, I'm going to let you go, man. Thanks for jumping on here with us. It's been a little bit since we talked, and we'll get you on again before Supercross kicks off.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime you have a good rest of the off season, enjoy some days off and go play some golf.
Yes, sir. We'll do.
All right, we'll see you, buddy.
All right. Have a good one, guys. Yeah.
That was Seth Hammaker. Even though TJ can't say it right.
Hammaker. Hammaker.
Yeah, that's close.
What I've been saying.
It still sort of almost has an ass sound to it, but it is your southern stuff. Whatever. I just like making fun of you.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, get our last commercial in, and we'll come back with a little wrap up. Be right back. Got to throw this last commercial in.
Dude, the chat room is just awesome tonight.
Oh, yeah? Let's
like-
talk about it here in a second.
Yeah.
I can't record right now. We're ready. All right, we're back, and we're going to jump into, I'm looking for my notes because I can't remember what the hell we call this last segment. Oh, the Grill Your Ass Off second helpings.
Well, I need Grill Your Ass Off to get off their ass and get some seasonings because I literally have gone through one of those big bottles of the
Are they sold out?
Yeah, it's the pork rub, the Infidel,
The Infidel.
pork rub. Like literally like the half-gallon size thing we went through
I
already.
got a whole closet full of that stuff.
Of the Infidel?
No, I think I only have one of Infidel, but I've got like almost all the flavors. But are they out? Are they sold out right now?
They're sold out.
Hey, it sells good. I bet a lot of those people are using that promo code MOTOXPOD. Here, take a sample pack.
I need the big. I'll steal your big thing of that Infidel pork rub from you. Just
Okay.
yeah,
it's good stuff.
it is.
What's up with the chat room? You said the chat room's
The chat room's
rocking?
awesome. Just everybody making jokes about and the name saying Hammaker and all the different things that we finally come to. It's Seth Spiral Cut Hammaker.
Spiral. Oh, okay, I get it. All right.
It
Honey,
was funnier in the group.
Honey Hammaker.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. All right. I feel like there was something else we were going to talk about, and now I'm blanking on what it was. So I don't know why we came back for the Grill Your Ass Off second helpings if I can't think of the topic.
We just got people to listen to the commercial.
Racetech as a sponsor. So I sent off the suspension for the Husky 350 yesterday.
Yeah.
They're gonna put a spring conversion kit in it for me to try out and test, and then race at Vets.
You should have told me. I have a set at the house. I could have let you test.
Oh,
before
well,
you did
they're doing it.
So
So
no, I'm saying just test it before. Yeah.
PDR is going to do it for me. So I got a shout out to Racetech. You guys, if you're not using Racetech, got to give them a try. Use that promo code MotoXPod. They're a big supporter of this show and a lot of other podcasts.
Yes.
They're a supporter of Vital MX. So once things make the transition, they'll still be part of the show. I think they might actually be a bigger part of the show.
Awesome.
So thank you to Checkers and Clay over there at Racetech. But yeah, I'm excited about that. I figured I'm leaving this week to be gone to MXoN. Might as well send it now so I can get it back, try it before I go to Vets. And I'm going to race a vet race here in Texas. If any of you are listeners and you're in the area, email us at MotoXPodShow @gmail.com because there's a bunch of events coming up. I'm going to go to a vintage race in Donnie here
I
in a
want to
few
do
weeks.
that. I think I may have a line on like a vintage bike.
Yeah, Rob Springer said I can use one of his. So
I wonder how vintage it has to be. Like, do they have like the 07 two-strokes?
I think TVRC does, but ARMA doesn't. And I think this event is a TVRC race, but I don't know that for sure.
Let's find out because
Yeah.
I could probably get my hands on a two-stroke like that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do that, and then there's a race at Freestone, an amateur race after the next day that I'm going to go to, and then the Moto Masters Vet Series at Johnsonville is coming up.
The weather will be so good.
Yeah, so I'm going to hit a lot of these races. I'm going to be going to a lot more events in the coming months.
Yeah.
So if you guys are around the area, hit us up. Maybe I'll let you know where I'm going to be. Maybe we can come out,
Sign autographs.
meet some of the listeners. It's kind of cool to meet people. I did sign an autograph recently. Oh, I saw it for one of our listeners on it. He wanted like my autograph, and I sent him a hat. And I was like, "You sure?" He wanted it. It's weird. I don't know.
So no, it was funny this weekend. We were all, because you're just like one of our local idiots to us.
Sure.
But you met some people when we went riding this weekend, and they were like, and the kids were like shaking your hands, and you could tell they were happy to meet you, and you could tell that you were like, yeah, I'm cool.
You think so?
Oh,
That's what I was thinking.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. We all
I don't
voted.
feel like I acted any different than. What did I do that was different than normal?
No, you just tell your walk. You were like, yeah, let me come over here and meet
Idiot.
y'all.
You were an idiot.
It was so funny. It was so funny.
Are you being
I'm
serious?
being completely serious.
Wow.
It was great.
I don't.
And we laughed at you because we think you're ridiculous. So,
I don't think that happened.
yeah.
I don't buy
Okay.
it. I don't buy it.
Well, I wish Chase wouldn't have flaked on us too.
Yeah, me too. Because I'd like to know. Because
We had Chase, and he'd have been sitting right there, and his neck tattoo would have been perfectly on camera. But nope, y'all missed out.
Chase bailed too because he had to go take a shower.
Take a shower.
Yeah.
He'd rather take a shower than come hang out
Come
with
do
us.
the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else before we go?
No.
Yeah. Nothing from chat room. No topics. No
That's what I
good
was reading.
stuff. All right. If you're still listening, support our sponsors at Cherby's USA, Racetech, Fly Racing, X-Brand Goggles, Works, Connection, Torque One Racing, R Jerky, Berm Lords, Graphics, and Jersey ID, Shuck Socks, Williams Motorworks, Extreme Colors, Blood Lubricants, Power Band Racing, TruFusion Sports, Grill Your Ass Off, and don't forget about our Patreon page. It's still there. You can still support the show, help us out. Patreon.com, search MotoXpod Show. Do $5 a month.
It goes a long way. We were just
Yeah.
talking about having to buy some new sound, like not equipment, but program, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of money.
I think I might switch to Pro Tools for those musicians out there. Oh, speaking of that, last week I talked about this Hellfire album that's in my background.
Yep.
Didn't get a single request for it. Maybe we have no metalheads left.
We have no metalheads left.
But I'm going to do one more week. MotoXpodshow
Put
at
it in front of the camera.
gmail.com. If you want this vinyl copy of the new Hellfire album, Reckoning,
it's really cool
you
album.
Can, yeah, you can just send us an email, and I'll pick a winner. If nobody enters, I'm going to give it to one of my buddies. So not TJ.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Anyway, other than that, that's it. We're out. See ya.
All right.
Go ahead. You can talk over it. That's supposed to be for YouTube.
The
So-
play out music
yeah,
is?
That's why I play it at the end, because I'll fix it for this. But that's how Scotty always wants me to do it, so he ends it.
He just ends it right there.
Yeah, that's
he didn't
that's
say thank you to
that's the
YouTube
outro.
separately and thank these guys.
Nope, that's
and
the outro for
tell them that they are awesome.
No,
and
but
they're like
Scotty
our
doesn't-
favorite
Scotty
listeners.
doesn't like. He always tells me when we get done, I hate those fucking guys on YouTube. They're all. He said, I hate the show. I hate those guys on YouTube.
I love the guys on
that's why he
YouTube.
hasn't been here last 2
YouTube
weeks,
is
yeah.
what to me makes it worth driving an hour and a half to come over here to the studio. So, guys, y'all are awesome.
Is it really that far now?
It really is.
That sucks.
It's just because of. If it wasn't because of traffic, it'd be an hour. But
Yeah.
it's just the time coming through town.
Gotcha.
Yep. All right,
YouTube.
guys, we
See ya.
are out.
Yeah. Hey, did you end it?
Nope.
Probably no show next week. It's not 100%, but I don't get back till late Monday night. Don't know if I can get a show together.
And we know Scotty's gonna flake.
Yeah, so just keep your ears open to Instagram.